Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadanti Supadantikam Mandeham Shri Gurum Shri Udavadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvedam Savadutam Parjana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakalita Shivishakam Vidam Syam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Ram Hare Hare Hari Om Tat Sat. So Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees for today's Bhagavad Gita session. So Kuvira recited last week's Kuvira and Advaita Prabhu. They recited last week's sloka. Anybody else wants to recite that sloka of last week? .59.
ఎక్కడ మాట్లాడినట్టు ఇక్కడ సత్తి విని మెల్లిగా మాట్లాడచ్చు.
Okay. If not, we'll go for the next verse for by hearting. That is 2.62. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu upajayate sanga sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bijayate. 2.62 for next week. Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho bijayate. Okay, the translation goes like this: while contemplating the object of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises. Okay, it's a very beautiful verse. So please by heart for next week. 2.62. Okay, now we will share the module 8 for today. So this is week 8, the nectar of the holy name. In Kali Yuga, rather than looking toward the light of mental speculation and atheists, people should take advantage of Lord Chaitanya's moment of chanting Hare Krishna. So what it says, as we all know, there are many processes. So instead of wasting our time, we should take advantage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's moment, which is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. We know there are many processes for self-realization or emancipation, liberation, but what is the best method is given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has advented about 520 years ago. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we all know, is none other than Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who came in the disguise as a devotee. So he himself, the Lord Krishna himself, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This process for getting out of the clutches of Maya, getting liberation from existence. So it is recommended that we all take to this process very seriously and sincerely. So all other processes are good, but this is the best of all. So why not take advantage of that? So during the rainy season, in the evening, there are many glowworms visible about the top of trees, hither and thither, and they glitter just like lights, but the luminaries of the sky, the stars and the moons, are not visible. Similarly, in the age of Kali, persons who are atheists or miscreants become very prominently visible, whereas persons who are actually following the Vedic principles for spiritual emancipation are practically obscured. So we know that in the rainy season we see so many glowworms, okay, in the atmosphere, on the trees here and there. Okay, they're also, it seems they also give light. Okay, and because of the rainy season, because of the clouds and other things, the actual luminaries of the sky, who are they? The stars and the moons are not visible. So the stars and moon are not visible to us because of the climatical condition. They are covered by the clouds, so that are not visible. Actually, they are the people who can give us light, isn't it? So in the age of Kali also, who are prominent? The atheistic people, the miscreants, the pseudo-spiritualists, they are all visible. But the actual Vedantis, the spiritual masters, the sadhus, who are following the Vedic principles are not practically visible. So it's very difficult. We tend to follow the so-called pseudo-spiritualists who are not guiding us properly. Okay, because the real spiritualists are covered, especially because of the influence of the Kali Yuga. Just like how the stars and moon are covered in the rainy season, so the actual spiritualists, the Vedantis, are also not prominently visible, in the age of Kali. But there are so many other so-called pseudo gurus, pseudo spiritualists. Okay, they are there rampantly everywhere you will find, and the general public gets misguided because of them. So that's why, here Prabhupada says that we have to be very careful in the age of Kali. So this age, Kali Yuga, is compared to the cloudy season of the living entities. In this age, real knowledge is covered by the influence of material advancement of civilization. So what is the real knowledge that the human society should have? That is covered. That is replaced by the so-called material advancement of civilization for increasing our material comfort. So many technology advancement, so many material advancements are taking place in the age of Kali, and we are after such temporary material advancement for bringing more and more comfort to our material life. But the real need of the society, the real spiritual need of the society is totally forgotten and neglected. So the cheap mental speculators, atheists, and manufacturers of so-called religious principles becomes prominent like the glowworms. So they are compared to the glowworms. You know what is the life of glowworms? Yes, Veera. Have you seen one?
No, sir, I don't know much about glowworms.
In the rainy season, there are so many, flies which emits lights, little lights. Especially this is
Yes, Prabhuji.
yeah. They're also called sometimes fireflies and all. So they emit little light. We think, oh, it's nice. They can, but they live for a few days, isn't it? They cannot give us lights permanently, just like how the sun and moon and the stars can give light and heat. So the real luminaries of the skies are covered in the cloudy season. Similarly, the real Vedantis, the real spiritualists, they're all covered in this. And instead of that, the so-called pseudo-spiritualists, they are rampantly available in the age of Kali. They misguide the general populace, general mass of people. So here they are compared to glowworms of the rainy season, whereas persons strictly following the Vedic principles of scriptural injunction become covered by the clouds of this age. So people should learn to take advantage of the actual luminaries of the sky the sun, moon, and stars instead of the glowworm's light. Okay. And they will come and go. Just it's a matter of season. After rainy season is over, you will not find these glowworms. So it is like that. The so-called spiritualists and pseudo atheistical mentality people all will be there for some time to misguide us. But their life is not permanent. They won't be there. As long as that person is there, they will make a group, and after that person disappears from this earthly planet, the group also gets dismantled. Nobody, maybe for a few more years. So many such personalities pseudo personalities will find. But the real spiritual, for example, Arjuna was instructed by Lord Krishna himself, this Bhagavad Gita, some, roughly calculation 5,200 years before. So many personalities came after that. Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, Madhavacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're all still there. They're still living through their teachings and guidance, isn't it? The book which is compiled by Vyasadeva some 5,000 odd years before, still available. We are reading it, enjoying it, and taking lessons from them, taking guidance from them. So what about those who have come and gone recently, some 200, 300 years? We don't even remember them. Similarly, all those people who are misguiding a so-called spiritualist, okay, they will come, they will stay for some time, just like the glowworms. Then they will depart from this planet and they will be totally forgotten. But the real luminaries of the skies, the Acharya, the Sadhus, the incarnations are still guiding us. Their names are still glorified. How many times we are taking the names of Acharyas like Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, Lord Chaitanya, isn't it? But what about others? There's so many so-called Babas and Sadhus who are not properly guiding us. They are forgotten over a period of time. Maybe their name and fame will be there for 50 years, 100 years, 200 years max. We will not remember them. So many novels have been written for the last, say, 200 years. So many books have been written by so many people. Who remembers all this? But Bhagavad Gita is still spoken, still recited, still discussed 5,000 years back, because it is still relevant for us. So that's why Prabhupada is telling, so we have to know actual luminaries of the sky, the sun, moon, and stars. As clouds sometimes clear, even in the rainy season, and sometimes the moon, stars, and sun becomes visible, so even in this Kali Yuga, there are sometimes advantages. The Vedic movement of Lord Chaitanya's, the distribution of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is heard in this way. People seriously anxious to find real life should take advantage of this moment instead of looking toward the light of mental speculators and atheists. So we want that we should not follow any pseudo spiritualists. We should know their temporary nature and their misguiding mentality. And we should take only the shelter of the actual luminaries of the sky. That means the real acharyas who comes in disciple succession, and we should follow in their footsteps. So this is what it is. So this is taken from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So any points? Somebody wants to share something from this passage? Ribol? Any questions or any comments from this? Is it clear?
Everything is clear, Prabhuji.
Ribol. What about others? Okay, seems no comments. So we'll go ahead. So let us read today's passage. The position of Krishna, God and his energies. The Isopanishad explains that the Supreme Lord controls whatever we see, whether animate or inanimate. What is animate and what is inanimate, Kuvira?
Prabhuji, I'm just guessing. Animate, I think it can be non-realistic or like just imaginary, and inanimate might be realistic, Prabhuji.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Okay. Others? Advait Prabhu?
Prabhuji, man-made, animated.
No, no, not man-made. Anybody else wants to share their thoughts?
Moving, non-moving.
Yes, moving, non-moving. With consciousness and without consciousness. Okay. And of course, trees and plants doesn't come, it is with consciousness. So inanimates like stones and mountains and all. Animate means with consciousness. Inanimate without consciousness. Okay. Just like stones, hill, mountains and all. But moving, non-moving, chara, achara. Because they are having consciousness, whether moving or non-moving. Just like trees and plants, it is achara, it is non-moving. They have consciousness. But here animate means with consciousness. Inanimate without consciousness. But there are so many things without consciousness also, like hills, the river, okay, stones, all these. So here, what Isopanishad explains is, okay, Isa vasim idam sarvam yad kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma grida kasya siddhanam. Okay, it's a very beautiful verse. This is the first verse of Isopanishad, one of the foremost Upanishads. How many Upanishads are there, Kuvira? Anybody else?
108, Prabhuji.
Yeah, 108. 108 Upanishads. Of that 108, the foremost Upanishad is Isopanishad. Okay. So it says, Isa vasim idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjidaha ma grida kasya siddhanam. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So there are so many animate, means all the living beings are considered as animate with consciousness, and all inanimate, the nature, the prakriti is inanimate. They don't have yes, there is super consciousness, but they are not living entities. So all this animate and inanimate within this universe is controlled by whom? Controlled by us?
Lord, the Supreme Lord.
Owned by
Supreme Person.
yes. So everything is under his ownership and his controllership. We should accept only those things necessary for ourselves. Can we go and take the neighbors' furniture from their house?
No, Prabhuji.
What happens if you do that?
They'll fine us.
They will complain to the police station. Police will come and put us behind bars, right? Because we are not supposed to encroach upon somebody else's property. Similarly, Supreme Lord has given all of us a particular quota. Okay, Supreme Lord has given the animals a particular quota, the birds a particular quota, the aquatics a particular quota. Similarly, we are also being given a particular quota for ourselves, and we are supposed to accept that, nothing more than that. So this is, so what is the quota for us? Just like what is the quota for animals? There are different types of animals, herbivorous and carnivorous, you know that. So what is the quota for a lion for food?
Prabhuji, another animal, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, other
Meat.
animal.
Non-veg material.
Yes. What is the food for an elephant?
Prabhuji, grass.
Trees, plants, grass, trees,
Plant.
plants.
Okay. So what is the food for a cow?
Grass,
Grass.
Prabhuji.
What is the food for dogs, cats?
They can eat both. Sorry, Prabhuji. They can eat also non-veg. Veg.
So for every one of them, will they deviate from their food and eat somebody else's food? For example, tiger or lion today is eating vegetable. Do they?
No,
No?
they are not deviated, Prabhuji. Only they are not deviated. Only human being is deviated. Deviated.
Yeah. So they don't deviate from their quota. Similarly, we human beings are also supplied a particular quota. What is our quota for food? What is our
Only
quota?
vegetarian.
Prabhuji,
What is that?
fruits and vegetables. Grains,
Vegetarian
Prabhuji.
food only.
And vegetables, yes. So this is our quota. This is set aside for us. And one should accept that only, not other things, because it doesn't belong to us. So each one of us, every one of us, whether we are human being or whether animals or aquatics or birds and whatever, trees and plants, every living entity, they have been allotted a particular quota. They will not deviate from their quota, except the human being. Okay, human beings are also allotted a particular quota for food, that is vegetables only. But we unfortunately deviate from our quota and try to encroach upon somebody else's quota and eat. Is it that an offense? Just like I told you, Kuvira, if you go and take the furniture or if you break somebody else's property, what will happen? You will be jailed.
Yes,
Right?
Prabhuji.
Similarly, when we encroach upon somebody else's quota, when we take somebody else's quota which is not meant for us, what will happen to us?
We will be punished by God.
Yes, we will be punished by God. The material government will not punish us, okay? Because we are having a so-called secular government, you can do anything and everything. As far as food is concerned, now if you don't kill men, that's fine. But if you kill other animals and eat, no problem. But there is the superintendents, supreme personality of God and his agents are watching us. When they see us that we are exploiting other living entities which are not our quota, we will be punished by the laws of nature. Not by the government, but definitely by the laws of nature, who are the agents of the Supreme Lord. So that's what the Isavasim principle says. Isopanishad said, every one of us have been allotted a particular quota. We are supposed to accept that, and we are not supposed to take somebody else's quota. If we do so, we will be punished by the laws of nature, who are the agents, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, just like in the a material example in the office. So there are so many employees. Okay, everybody is getting their salary at the end of the month. Okay, one person says, no, I want to take more, and go to the treasury department to this thing. They break open their vault and take all the money. What will happen? They'll be punished, right? They will be put behind bars. Okay, so he is not supposed to take somebody else's quota. He cannot steal. So now, human being, we are stealing somebody else's quota. Okay, and even the nature we are exploiting. We are not supposed to exploit the nature. So the nature will punish us. That's what Isopanishad says. Lord Krishna says the same thing in the Bhagavad Gita, that his energies are managing everything. So Lord Krishna may not be there, personally to look after this, but he has appointed his agents. Okay, in the material world also, a factory is there. They are appointing their distributing agents to supply, to distribute their products. So the factory themselves won't distribute. Similarly, Lord Krishna, the proprietor, the supreme controller or supreme proprietor, is not directly involved or taking charge of this. He has appointed his own energies. Let us see what it says. Bhagavad Gita 9.10. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Under my supervision, Prakriti's material nature is working. Okay, this material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rules, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So Lord Krishna very categorically says that under my direction, this material nature is working, all moving and non-moving. And under its rule, it is created and annihilated again and again. So this material world is manifested and manifested again and again at different intervals. And it is working under whose direction or supervision? My Adhyakshana, under my, who is telling that? Lord Krishna. So he is the person who is appointing, who is authorizing exalted personalities or different energies to take control of the material nature. So, and the Vishnu Purana confirms Ekadesha Sthitasyagner Jotshana Vistarine Yatha. As heat and light are distributed all around by a fire situated in one place, so the whole creation is manifestation of energies expanded from the Supreme Lord. For example, the sun is in one place, but it is distributing its heat and light all over the universe. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is distributing his material and spiritual energies all over the creation. The Supreme Lord, Krishna, is there aloof from this material. He is situated in his Gola Gauranga or Vaikunda, in his personal abode. But his energies are spread all over the universe. Just like the Prime Minister is sitting in his office in New Delhi, but his governance is happening throughout every nook and corner of India. He is not personally going in there and managing. His energies in the form of different ministers and officers, they are taking care of the governance of the country. So here, similarly, Supreme Lord sitting in Vaikunta or Gola Gauranga, through his different energies and agents, he is managing the whole spiritual and material world, all over the creation. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Good, very good. The position of Krishna. The Isopanishad states, Anejadekam manaso javiyo naima deva apnuvan purvamarshad tadhavado anyan adyeti tishthat tasmin apo matarishwa dathati. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence. So even Isopanishad further mentions that he is fixed in his abode. He is not, coming here very often. He comes for a particular purpose. Okay, so he is fixed in his abode, and he is swifter than the mind. You know the speed of the mind. What is the speed of the mind? Can anyone say? Yes. Who can say the speed of the mind?
Speed up very fast, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it's very difficult. The mind just thinking of our home in India or America or Japan, it reaches there. We cannot measure the speed of the mind. Okay? The speed of the light they can measure. Isn't it? It is said that there are stars who have already become obsolete, but the light is still coming. There are stars in this in the galaxy and it has already vanished. That star is not there. But the light which has emitted some thousand light years ago is still not even reached, is still coming, but that star is already gone. So you can imagine the rate at which it travels. The source of that light is not there, it's already gone, isn't it? So our mind is not like the mind. The moment we think one place, immediately the mind is there, so fast, isn't it? So, and he is swifter than that mind. Just imagine. Okay, it is said the fastest, we say the fastest is the mind, but the faster than the mind is the Supreme Godhead. Can you give some example how fast he is? Any example that he is the faster than mind?
He reached immediately to the
What is that?
Gajendra.
Gajendra
He
Moksha.
reached near to the Gajendra immediately.
Yes, I mean, even before Gajendra could think, Lord has already arrived there. So the mercy of the Lord is faster than the mind. We say the mind is fastest thing, but the mercy of the Lord is faster than that. Okay, just even before Gajendra could offer his prayers, before he could think that the Lord will be there to protect him, Lord has already come. So that's why he's swifter than the mind. And he controls those who supply the air and the rain. Surpasses all in excellence. And the Brahma Samhita says something similar. So it is further emphasized in Brahma Samhita. Pantastu koti sadavatsara sambragamyo vayo rathapi manaso muni pungavanam sopyasti yat prapada simni avichinta tattve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Okay, what it says?
Mahadi Purusham Tamaham Vadami.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. Only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years. So what Brahma says, is worshipping the Govinda, the first primeval Lord. Only the tip of the toes of whose lotus feet is approached. The yogis cannot approach Govinda as a person. Only the tip of the toe of the lotus feet. Okay, and that is what they aspire. That is, we say, it's a lotus feet. Okay, and that to the tip of the toe of the lotus feet. Okay, and it take for millions and millions of years for them. Okay, so to pranayama, so they are doing this to see that they are doing pranayama. Doing a lot of this, what you call, breathing techniques and yoga practices. And jnanis, what they're doing, they are also doing a lot of mental speculation. Okay, to for what? Not to see the lotus feet, but to get to the Brahma Jyoti. And how many thousands and thousands of millions of years takes for them just to see the tip of the toe of the lotus feet, and just to get to the Brahman. The yogis and jnanis takes millions, thousands of millions of years. To that Govinda I worship. That is what Lord Brahma says. Okay. Further, it's again said that in Brahma Samhita, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pradibhavidabhis Tabirya eva nija rupataya kalabhi goloka eva nivasatya kiratma bhudo govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm Goloka with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidants, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual dasa. Okay, so Goloka eva nivashati akhilatma bhuto. Although Krishna is always in Golok Vrindavan, is simultaneously in the hearts of all living beings. Okay. Krishna has no duties to perform in Goloka, simply enjoying the company of his associates, the gopis, the god boys, his mother and father, his cows and calves, etc. He is completely free, and his associates are even freer than he is, because when they seem to be in danger, Krishna feels some anxiety about how to save them. But his associates feel no anxiety, Simply think, oh, Krishna is here. He will protect us. When Krishna enacted his pastimes 5,000 years ago in Vrindavana, India, he would go every day with his cowherd boyfriends and their cows to play in the forest on the bank of the Yamuna river. And often Kamsa would send some demon to try to kill Krishna and his friends. Yet the cowherd boys would continue enjoying their pastime without anxiety, because they were so confident of Krishna's protection, that is spiritual life, which begins with surrendering to Krishna. So in Goloka, Lord Krishna is there, okay, along with his cowherd boys, gopis, and other friends. And what they are doing, they're enacting different pastimes, and every one of them are protected by Krishna. They have no anxiety at all. Okay, they know that Lord Krishna is there to protect them in all circumstances. Okay, and similarly in Vrindavan also, when Lord Krishna appeared, it is a replica of the original Vrindavan, the Bhaumya Vrindavana, which we have there near Delhi. That is the reflection of the original Vrindavan in the spiritual world. So there also, when so many asuras came, all of them, all the cowherd boys and cows and inhabitants of Vrindavana, had no anxiety. They had never felt any anxiety. Why? Because they knew very well Krishna is there to protect all of them. So they are out of anxiety. So here, what it means that we also should take shelter of this personality, this Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that we will not have any anxiety. So take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead 100%. Then we can also be like the cowherd boys and gopas and gopis who are living there in Vrindavana without any anxiety whatsoever. Okay, so even Arjuna, Pandavas, okay, they had no anxiety, because they had taken complete shelter of Lord Krishna. So the headache was of Lord Krishna, it's not Pandavas. They were undergoing so much of turmoils in their life, tribulations in their life, but they were anxiety free. Why? Because they had taken complete shelter of Krishna, and Krishna was protecting from each and every problems of their life. So that is how we devotees, if we take shelter of the Supreme Lord Krishna, we also become anxiety free. So surrendering to Krishna means having the strong faith that Krishna will save us in any dangerous condition. When the children are going with their parents, okay, the small children of 2 years, 3 years old, okay, they are very safe. They don't have any fear. Why? Because they know well that parents will take care of them, protect them. Okay, when they are holding and walking in a busy street, okay, mother will carry, or the father may hold the hand of the child and cross the street, busy street. They are not scared. But if they are alone, will they be able to cross a busy street? No, they cannot, because they are scared. Nobody is there to protect them. But in the company of their parents, the children are very safe. Here, in the company of the Supreme Father, Lord Krishna, his children, we are all his children, we feel safe and secured. There is no problem at all. So surrendering to Krishna means having strong faith that Krishna will save us in any dangerous condition. The first step in surrendering is that we should accept whatever is favorable for devotional service. Then we should reject anything that is unfavorable for devotional service. The next stage is the confidence that in any situation, Krishna will protect us and maintain us. Actually, he is already giving protection and maintenance to everyone. That is a fact. But in Maya illusion, we think that we are protecting ourselves or that we are feeding ourselves. So if we have strong faith in Krishna and take total surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna, then nothing to worry. And so for that, to get his mercy, to lead an anxiety-free life, we should do those activities which are favorable for him, not unfavorable. We should avoid or reject all activities that are unfavorable for devotional service. We should not accept, we should immediately reject. So in that case, Krishna will take care of us. We should not think that we are independent. We are always dependent on the mercy of Supreme Lord Krishna. The moment we think that we are independent, Krishna will say, okay, you are independent, you think that you can take care of yourself, go ahead. I don't want to interfere. And the moment we think that we are independent, we will come under the clutches of Maya. And the Maya will play with us, making us think that I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, I am the proprietor, I am the master, I am the boss. So that way, we will be thinking ourselves and we will be kicked by Maya left, right and center every time. So this is the position of human beings. When we feel that we are independent and we can do anything and everything and we can, boss over the material nature, or we can be the lord of the material nature, we should never do that, because material nature also, it is the inferior energy of Supreme Lord. It is the energy of Supreme Lord. We cannot go beyond her. So respecting the material nature, at the same time taking shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we live a life that is favorable for Krishna conscious activities, then we are out of danger. We will not be having any anxiety in our life. So that's what, Lord Krishna says. For the devotees, Krishna personally takes charge of their protection and maintenance, and for the ordinary living beings, Maya Devi, Krishna's external energy takes charge, Maya takes charge. So this is the difference. For devotee, who takes charge? Who takes charge of devotees?
Prabhuji, it's Krishna.
Yes, Krishna takes charge of the devotees. Okay, so who can be called devotee? Only when we take complete shelter of Krishna and when we live a life that is totally dependent on Krishna. Never think that we are independent of Krishna. So for devotees, Krishna personally takes charge. Okay, Kshemam Mahamiham, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? What is that sloka? Ananyas. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasade tesham niktam yoga kshemam. So Krishna takes protection of all his devotees. He will give us whatever we lack. He will preserve whatever we have. Okay. But for those who do not surrender to Krishna, what happens? Who take care? Maya Devi, the external energy of the Supreme Lord. Okay. Maya Devi takes charge. So Maya Devi is Krishna's agent for punishing the conditioned souls. So who is Maya Devi? It's Krishna's agent only.
Durga Devi.
Yes. Who is the people who are not obedient in this material world, not following the scriptural injunctions, they will be punished by Maya Devi.
Punished.
Yeah, they will be punished, just like people who are the anti-social elements. They'll be put behind bars. They'll be put in jail and punished by the jailers, the jail superintendent. So the situation is like that. We see in the state, good citizens are taken care of by the government directly, while criminals are taken care of the government, though through the prison department. Both of them are taken care. Okay, the good citizens are taken care of very nicely by the government by supplying whatever is necessary for them, and the criminals, they are also citizens because they are disobeying the rules and regulations of the government. They are taken care by the government, but through the prison department by giving them punishment. Okay, so this is the laws of nature. This is taken from the laws of nature. So is there any questions or any comments? You want to ask some questions from this? Otherwise, we'll go to the discovery, understanding, and application. Hare Krishna, anything?
No doubts, Prabhuji. Everything is clear.
Very good. Hari Bol. So let us go to the discovery. Where does Lord Krishna reside? How does he manage the material world?
Prabhuji, Lord Krishna resides in Vaikuntha, but then he manages from there, saying there itself, because he works faster than the mind, which is the fastest in the material world, and he's the fastest, so he can manage the material world.
He's faster than our.
He also takes the help of his energies.
Yes. So Lord Krishna resides in his spiritual abode called Golaka Vrindavana, which is the topmost planet in the Vaikuntha planets. Okay, it's the top, and he manages through his different energies. Right. So understanding. Mention some reasons why Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. You can mention some reason why Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Prabhuji, can I answer?
Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, because Krishna is he killed many Asuras and he is very powerful.
Okay. Okay.
He also carried the mountain in his small finger.
Okay, good, good. Okay. So from the passage, what do we understand? How do we understand that is the Krishna?
Because everything is controlled by Krishna and everything is comes from the Krishna. All the demigods are under the Krishna.
Okay. So what is that verse from his Upanishad? The verse.
Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Isavasyamidam sarvam. Here it is. Isavasyamidam sarvam. Yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tektyana bhunjida magrida kasta siddhanam. Okay. Everything animated and inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. Okay. We are not owner. We are not controller. And again, Lord Krishna says, Maya Dhyakshana Prakriti in Bhagavad Gita. And again in Upanishad, another sloga, Anejad Ekam Manaso Javiyo. He is fixed in his abode. Okay, and is faster than swifter than the mind. The demigods cannot approach him. He is in one place. And in Brahma Samhita, Pandastu Kodi Sadavatsarak Samragamyo. Okay, and the jnanis, the yogis, how they can just see just the tip of the toe of the lotus feet, or how they can approach the Brahman after drilling the respiration, and jnani is trying to be attain the Brahman after thousands of millions of years. And again, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavidabhis. So all these, are references to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are so many references. Some of them, we have given in this passage. How can we be free of all anxieties if we surrender to Krishna? Illustrate with an example. Yes.
Prabhuji, in Goloka, like about 5,000 years ago, when all the cowherd boys used to go with Krishna to the river for the cows and also for the grazing, the Kamsa used to send constantly. He used to send Ashuras to attack and kill Krishna and his friends. But then all the cowherd boys, they were really confident that Krishna was there to protect them. So this is how basically we have to be confident that Krishna will protect us. That's how we surrender.
All of them trusted Krishna and they were they knew that Krishna would protect them.
Very well. Very well. Well said. Okay. Hare Krishna. Good. Okay. How can we practically express our surrender to Krishna?
by living in the the rules in the scriptures, Prabhuji, following the rules,
Yes, following
like
the
four rules, and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Kali Yuga 16 rounds, like that.
yeah. So whatever favorable, we should accept. Whatever unfavorable for devotion, we should reject. So we should do all those activities which are favorable for our devotional service and reject all those which are unfavorable. Okay? Good. Who looks after those who do not surrender to Krishna? How are they treated? So who looks after?
Maya.
Maya Devi. Maya Devi.
Yes. How they are treated?
They are treated like as a prisoner,
Yes.
just like
They are treated just like prisoners in the jail. They are punished for not adhering to the rules and regulations, or for not adhering to the laws of material nature, or going against the laws of the material nature. Okay, the Maya Devi, the external energy of the Supreme Lord, the agent of the Supreme Lord, punishes them just like the prisoners are punished by the jailers in the jail. Very good, very nice. So application, share your experience of a time when you were in great anxiety. How did you react then? Do you think you should have reacted differently in that situation, and why? Do you have any experience that when you were in real anxiety, when you were in some situation which were really, you could not, you were in dilemma, you could not make up what to do, what not to do? How did you react to that situation? And do you think that now, understanding that situation, you should have reacted differently at that time? Any situation? Yes. Do you recall?
Prabhuji, recently I got very angry at my brother.
Yeah.
And I was very angry with him. But then later on, I thought that I could have chanted Krishna's name and cool down,
Very well.
because it would have been better.
Very well. So yes. Right. So you were in great anxiety. Then later you repented that you shouldn't have done that. Okay. Good realization.
Yes.
Very well. Yes. Anybody else?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
No, because certain situation we don't really, our intelligence doesn't work. That time we immediately react. Okay. Then later we'll repent. Oh, I shouldn't have said like that. I shouldn't have done like that. Then we repent. Is there any situation somebody wants to share from their personal experience, personal lives?
Prabhuji, this is Kamal. Actually, yes, in this material world, especially when you are going through a lot of responsibilities which you think are necessary and all those things, right?
Yeah.
During your regular course of activities and all that, when things doesn't work out as you think and plan, you really get excited and you really get uncomfortable with the progress it happens, and you tend to react in an abnormal way, wherein that is where you have to step back and you need to just pause for a minute, or look after some other supremacy or suggestions, but which you generally don't do with the pressure you are going through, and then you end up into creating more problems. So that you realize at a later stage, but again you would have done the damage, and it has happened many times with me, and I'm not sure. I'm sure that it would happen with many others as well. But that's what is I wanted to share.
Yes.
I don't know. That's where there is no control.
Yeah. Rightly said. Many times we react immediately to the situation without without having a pause, or without thinking what we are doing or what we are saying is right or wrong, or whether it will bring some adverse effects or consequences, without even thinking the pros and cons of that. That's why after reading and understanding Bhagavad Gita and such scriptures, understanding the funda of these principles. Slowly and gradually, definitely, as we progress in spirituality, we will think twice before we react. That's why I said we should not be reactive, we should be proactive. We have to just take a measure. We have to measure. If I react immediately, okay, if I, give the answer immediately, what will happen? What are the consequences? Is it affecting me favorably or unfavorably? So that thinking, that mentality we'll be able to develop by studying the scriptures, because it is only unnecessarily giving us anxiety, and it is giving us only problems for our mind, and it will affect our this thing, what you call health, and mental equilibrium also will be spoiled, everything. So why to unnecessarily react, which is giving nothing good? So that is the reason that we have to read and study and go through such scriptures, which will guide us properly in what situation, how we should respond to such situation. So this study will definitely help any practitioner to maintain the equilibrium and to proactively think what we should do, what we should not do at certain times of such happenings. So that is one good advantage of studying and going through such scriptures, getting guidance from such scriptures. Otherwise, definitely, there'll be no end to it. Just if, for my case itself, before coming to Krishna consciousness, how we were dealing with people and how I am dealing with people, there's a lot of difference. Definitely, I'm not, it's not self-praising or something, but definitely we can see, you can judge yourself, judge anybody. Of course, it's not that we'll not get angry, we'll not scold or shout. Yes, but then there's a lot of difference from the day one, and if you see now, everybody's case is like that. So this is definitely, giving us something real good. We are improving ourselves day by day. So that is one good thing, that everyone is going through these phases of life. So if we take up spirituality, devotional service, we can improve a lot. Our characters, our habits, our dealing with other people, and our expectations, everything can change. And for good, change for good. Thank you, Kamal Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And
yes.
sorry.
No. Okay. So
Prabhuji,
yes, Mataji.
when I get anxiety in family or society, and nowadays I used to think about that chapter 3 in Bhagavad Gita, that soul, intelligent mind, senses. I think that one, and I just control my mind, and I give importance to intelligence, and like that I used to guide myself, Prabhuji.
Very well. Good. So this is all,
But
application.
sometimes I used to bewildered because of family circumstance and
Yes.
society.
But some improvement is there. This is all because, because of studying Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Because of studying
Yes,
Bhagavad
Prabhuji. Yes.
Gita, we know what is good, what is bad, and we don't come under the mind's dictation. So Mataji said she's trying to use the intelligence and to act accordingly, so that she doesn't get any problems because of certain reactions. So nice Mataji, very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, so I think already 5:10. Shall we stop here? This will read next. Preacher is very dear to Lord.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay, it is 5:10, so we'll stop here. Today less attendance. I 2-3 devotees did not attend, right?
Yeah, I think they have some work outside.
Yeah, maybe because of Navratri, all are busy.
Okay. And I think Amrita Mataji and Raga Mataji.
Amrita is still in her work, she said.
Okay.
I don't know about Raga Mataji.
No problem. Okay. So let us.
Sangeeta Mataji is outside for some work.
Mhm.
Raga, I don't know, maybe she's also busy.
Navaratri, yes. Today is the day of puja, right?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe.
So wish you all a happy Navaratri, Dasara, okay, and Vijayadashami, everything, all of you, and we'll. And from 1st of November, Damodara month starts. So,
Yes.
as you all know, please do that Damodara Arti every day at least once for the whole Kartik month. Okay. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna is grace Siddha Gauranga Prabhu ki.
Guru Maharaj. And Divya Mataji's mother is very serious in critical condition. Ventilator, let chant for her 3 times Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.